So this is the final part of the octagonal pot build in high firing terracotta clay, and thank you for tuning in to all the previous videos for the current build, and it really is appreciated, and thank you for all your likes, comments, and I hope you continue to subscribe to the channel to see what I come up with next. So at the present I'm just using a simple piece of wooden tool that I've made just to shave off the inside of the rim to give it a bit of a bevel, and then using my good old mud tools, as many potters use, to just, you know, flatten things out and keep things clean and pristine. The red ones are the softest out of them all, and they are absolutely excellent at burnishing and smoothing out your pots. Yellow ones are a little bit on the hard side, and they take a bit more of the clay off, but I usually utilise this one to just smooth out any imperfections that need to take a bit more clay off. Back to the wooden tool to take the sort of sharp edge off the outside of the rim to allow for like a nice rounded bevel, so there's no sort of hard lines in the pot. When you do see like leave sharp corners on the pot, it's very prone to chipping, so I think if you can sort of take them off and smooth them out and bevel them off, it makes a huge amount of difference. Back to the red tool again, just to smooth things out, and the OCD kicks in every now and again to make things that are, or to make sure that things are perfect even during the build. So the tool I'm using now is a piece of chamois leather, just dipped in water, and again this goes around the inside of the pot just to smooth things out even more. You can get normal chamois leather, or I think this is synthetic chamois leather. Sorry, it's a bit of a tongue twister, and it's just as good, does the job, and helps me smooth out those imperfections even more. Sorry about the car alarm going off in the distance. So yeah, smooth things out a little bit, inside and outside. It's all about attention to detail all the time. I think if you employ this during your pot building process, yeah, you're gonna do well, I think. I can't emphasise it enough. Perhaps it's me, perhaps it's just the fact that I'm so particular about the way things look. Perhaps it's the fact that I'm in a job in engineering where everything has to be just so. Yeah, even blowing the bits off the board so they don't get in the way and get stuck to a part that you don't want it to be stuck on. All about precision, as much as the human can do. Me and my little box usually sorting through things that I can find what I want to find. Yet another wooden tool that's been handmade just to bevel the underside of the rim that's been put on, so there is a smooth transition on the inside as well as the outside. Like I say, it's all about the attention to detail, and that's what's, well, in my opinion, hugely important. Back in there with the old soft red mud tool to give it that extra little bit of smoothness. And obviously I'm narrating along to this video, so I'm preempting the fact that I may get in there with the chamois leather as well, but no, you know, God gave us 10 of us, so we might have used them and get the finger stuck in there too. smoothing smoothing, smoothing, smoothing. Yeah, it is laborious, it is time consuming, but I can't express enough attention to detail that needs to be done. There you go, preempted it right. Chamois leather on the inside to give it that ultra smooth finish. So this octagonal pot it's 8-sided, but it's point facing front and point facing either side. So not your average octagonal pot, and I like to play around with shapes to sort of come up with an alternative sort of pot shape, if you like. So yeah, as you all well know, not telling you how I do my feet. This is my pre sort of prepped feet and placed where they need to be on the pot. Me marking out the positions so that I can scratch and slip later on, and then add the detail to the feet. It's not a hard thing to work out, but when you sort of fall on a little bit of a technique or a way of doing things that is sort of your signature when you're pot making, sometimes you want to keep it to yourself and not give it to every man and his dog so that they can plagiarise it and, effectively copy what you do, which happens. I might go onto a theme of doing something and then put it out there on social media, and then you find, oh, that's the wrong slip, didn't want that one, this is the one I need. Yeah, so as I was saying, you might sort of come on an idea and start doing it on your pots, and before you know it, everybody else is doing it. So I like to try and sort of keep ahead of the game a little bit and, do something. Not saying that I'm a trendsetter in any way, shape or form, but you sort of do something and then other people sort of cotton on and they start doing it, and then as soon as everybody else starts doing it, I stop doing it, I don't want to be a mass producer of pots. I want to be an individual producer of pots, so that everything you're buying from me pretty much is a one-off. There may be similar, there may be slight differences between one pot and another, but I can pretty much guarantee that if you buy a pot from me, what you're going to get is a one-off individual piece, individual work of art that you own and that nobody else has, which is a pretty cool thing, to be honest with you. I think if you're paying the money for something, then if you're in the knowledge that you've only got that, it's yours, nobody else has got that, I think that's a pretty cool thing. I really do. So as you can see, good old scratch and slip in, get that slip on. Now pick the right one, get it on the pot, get those feet on the pot in their primal state, because they are pretty basic at this state. It's just a matter of getting it on and getting those feet into position and sticking them well down. Usually after the feet have gone on, this pot will be wrapped and left at least for a day, so that the moisture in the different parts of the clay all balances up. Otherwise it just crack and fall off. So fettling the feet and tidying everything up. The sort of slip oozes out beneath each foot, so that needs to be tidied, as well as the inside of the foot. So again, it's back to that finicky attention to detail and smoothing the as you can see there with a needle tool, smoothing the sides of the cloud feet into the base of the pot, so there's a complete smooth transition. Sometimes you'll get minor sort of surface cracks. They're not structural area, it's just purely aesthetic, I suppose. Sometimes you can't odds it, sometimes it happens. but it doesn't it doesn't affect the integrity of the pot in any way, shape or form. So yeah, cleaning out the inside where all the slip was on the inside of the feet. And again, going back to that good old mud tool that gives you that perfect sort of lovely, soft, silky finish. So this tool is a really thin metal kidney. It's a straight one. Not a kidney, it's a straight square effectively. But I use this to slice off the inside of the foot to give it a uniform finish. And flick off the odd bit of clay that I've chopped off there. And it takes off the edges and it gives it a nice, what I think is a nice finish. And then go back in with that rubber tip tool just to blend out any marks that you've made on the base. Blend it all in to make everything look everything look uniform and yeah, spot on. So I'm sort of, where I put the holes in the pot, I'm just going around and beveling the inside or the outside of the holes, running them through again with another tool to make sure it's all clean. Yet again, going back to the rubber tip tools to clean up any clay that you don't need. Well, you don't need that, just clear it out. So on and so forth. There's another procedure where I go around and take off any sharp edges on the cloud feet with my trusty needle tool, just to make sure everything's rounded and clean. So I swapped over to a larger turntable tool with a pot underneath, a bucket underneath to raise the pot up. And as you can see, I've already put on, started putting on the studs for this pot. This pot is a commission pot, so it's the customer's requirement, and I'm doing what I need to do for that commission. I've got a little tool that was made by me by a good friend, better than the one that I made myself. This is more of an engineered one where I can put the bits of clay in and effectively push that onto the surface of the pot to create the stud. And yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely love it. Really, really good, really a hell of a lot better than what I could do myself. So I appreciate that, Barry, thank you. So putting the last few studs on now. Not much else left to do, and this is the end of the commission. Very pleased with it. Almost want to keep it myself, to be honest with you. I usually get that way sometimes, but yeah, perhaps I'll make another one for the shop at some point. Making commission pots opens doors, you know, and makes you want to make more, to be honest with you. Chuffed a bit. Thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you on the next build. Thanks for subscribing and liking. Cheers, guys.